Albert Einstein once observed that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another.
Hi, and welcome to the Satori Show with your host, Amy Satori, your intuitive spiritual counselor. Amy's work centers around the energy that is in everything and everywhere. Her rare ability is to identify the energy from any source, and with the help of her guides on the other side, provides an incredibly accurate assessment of what's really going on, albeit with people living her past, pets, the human body, and her specialty, twin flame relationships. And now we're proud to announce that the show is live at the Lighthouse Bookstore every Sunday night from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can talk to Amy and see for yourself just how special her abilities really are. Just call 256-291-1191. So now sit back and join me, Kevin McDonald, as we present this episode of The Satori Show. And welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Kevin McDonald, and you're listening to The Satori Show. And with me tonight, as always, first of all, is our producer. His name is Travis. When you call into the show, which you can do anytime on Sunday night from 5:30 Pacific or 6:30 Mountain, you can call in at 256-291-1191, and the first voice you're going to hear is going to be this fine young fellow. Travis, how are you?
Good evening, everybody.
And he is the one that will put you through your paces, and you can give your name, not give your name, but it is helpful to us if you do give him a brief description of what you'd like to talk about or the question that you have for our host, who is standing right here from, well, she may be sitting, actually, from Boulder, Colorado, Amy Satori. Good evening, Amy. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good.
Good. I'd like to remind everybody from the get-go that we're doing this, Amy's doing this live from the Lighthouse in Boulder, Colorado, and you can call any Sunday from 5:30 on to about 7:30 or so. We do generally have a guest between 6:30 and 7:30, but if we do have time that we would like to fit your call in, or the other way you can do it is to go to Facebook and join Amy's the Facebook Twin Flame Forum, which, Amy, how do they do that if they want to join your Twin Flame Forum?
Just look up 1111 Twin Flame Forum, and I will accept you as a member. I do ask that anyone who joins be of a positive mindset and be encouraging to other members of the group, because if you are not, you will just be rejected. Yeah, because it just needs to. It's a hard enough journey as it is without anybody, being an Eeyore in there. I mean, unless you need support in that and you actually do want to come out to a better place or whatnot. But the point is to uplift one another and encourage each other. So I just wanted to put that out there. And if you do post a question in the forum, then we're going to try to get to it every Sunday on the show. So either way, you can get your question answered through the forum or by calling in.
So let's just briefly give us a brief description of the twin flame phenomenon and your understanding of it and how it works.
Okay. Here's the can of worms we're going to open up. Okay, so people are typically in a karmic relationship, usually. I don't know what the percentage would be, but probably a good 80 to 85% are in a relationship where they're just there to learn. They're learning how to communicate better. They're learning how they don't have to be right all the time, how to compromise, how to, you're always learning that stuff. But some of these people that we get entangled with when we're with the karmics or in that stage are these people who are like narcissists and psychopaths, and they just basically really don't have your interest at heart. They and they're not, some of them, I don't want to go there, but basically, so there's those. There's the karmics. There's the majority of them. Most of you listening are probably in one or have just left one. Oh my gosh, and the breakups right now are crazy. I've been saying that this is the time when karmics are breaking up and the twin flames are coming together, and it's so very true, and I'm seeing it dramatically right now because there's been like this huge energy shift that's causing like a big upheaval in relationships. Well, all across the board, people's lives are kind of being thrown up in the air, and the chips are falling where they may. So, which is why we're doing a talk on change in the next hour. But so these karmic relationships right now, especially, are breaking apart, and then the twin flames are coming together. And here's how that goes. Okay, so there's soulmates too. I should explain the soulmates. Soulmates are kind of like, they're just really, really comfortable, cozy, wonderful. They feel really great, and they're like nothing really goes wrong. It's really easy to work through issues. Everything's pretty easy peasy, but it can be a little bit boring. And a lot of soulmates, I mean, it depends on who they're hooked up with, because the soulmates, if they have a twin flame and if they are a twin flame also to somebody else, what happens is if you hook up with a karmic or a soulmate, then you're not free to be with your twin flame. And, you know, most of us aren't. So then there comes along the twin flame, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like this seems like such a totally different category or caliber of person altogether. And it feels like you can trust the person. It feels like you can really give them your heart, and maybe for the first time ever, maybe reveal all your secrets, and maybe you might actually be safe to open your heart again. And after lots of unsuccessful relationships, maybe this one could actually be different. And it is. Because your twin flame, I believe there's only one. There are many, many theories out there, and if you don't believe there is just the one, then you can listen to somebody else. Because that, at least at this point in this journey for myself, and having watched hundreds of people who've come for readings and that I've just observed in general, I've really just come to this conclusion. I really do feel that. And so you pick what you believe and who you believe in as you go forward on this journey, and whatever encourages you. And honestly, it's like all about what we believe. So if you do believe you have 3 twin flames, then go for it. You know, just go balls out about the 3 twin flames, and that's great. And then that's part of your journey, at least. You know, at least for that time being. You may change your mind later, just as I may. But as of right now, I believe there's one twin flame, and I think that they are the most beneficial partner that you could have, because they have the characteristics of the soulmate, the kind, loving, deeply intimate, vulnerable thing that you get with the soulmate, only more passionate, and also you will get triggered. They will, not on purpose, they're not going to come after you and be... I mean, if they're an a-hole or a B, then I really doubt they're your twin flame. They're probably a karmic. But so your twin is going to have a good heart. They are going to be, they're going to have good intentions. They're going to have your interest at heart. They're truly going to be invested in you, and they're going to care deeply for you, and they will love you no matter what. So that's just how that goes, and it's like the perfect combination for you to be able to grow and have the support that you need from that person who's kind of made for you. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it for now.
Well, so let me ask you, Amy, is the term "go balls out", is that a technical term or is that a scientific term? What is that?
I just really think that our existence is very malleable. It's very moldable and shapeable, and and this actually brings up another subject of like being able to predict your future. We jump, I mean, you guys would not even believe the stuff I've seen on the other side. There are so many timelines, and there are so many dimensions and so many aspects out there that I can't even tap into for a second. It's like so vast, so huge, that I couldn't do it justice. But there's a lot of stuff going on out there that we don't see or that we don't know about. Time doesn't really exist. It's all happening all at once. It's so hard for us to comprehend that. But you can predict a possible future if you keep making the same decisions you're making Somebody could say, yeah, probably in about 10 of your timelines or 10 of your realities, you end up doing this. But if you make some major epiphany and you like make a really big change or suddenly do something unexpected or, something else happens or you make a decision you weren't supposed to make or something like that, then you're going to go off in a totally different direction. And whoever you're going to for guidance, and if somebody says, I think this is going to happen in such and such time, it's really just what they're getting in their guidance at that moment that could change any moment. So you can't really depend on anybody to tell you the future, and a lot of times they will purposely not tell you because you're not supposed to. It's like you're being let. I'll give you a good example. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The night before, my twin flame came to say hello to me this last visit. I had just felt a prompting from the other side to do what I call like a council meeting. So I called a council meeting, and I think it was the only, like, the second time I had ever done a council meeting of this particular type. So I pulled a meeting and I said, I can tell you guys want to tell me something. What is it? And a lot of it was pertaining to him. They were telling me a bunch of things about him, how he's doing, how he feels about me, all kinds of things that were revealed in that talk. But I said, when is he coming? And they said, he wants to surprise you. So they wouldn't tell me. But I mean, they did give me a clue, which I blatantly ignored. I've told you guys that talk before, but I was putting some cards away, some tarot cards away, and one of them flew out. It was the Knight of Wands, which is somebody coming to you passionately. And so I said, when that card came flying out of the deck, I mean, that's usually like something you need to see. So I looked at it and I knew that was him, and I just said, when is he coming? And they said, and then I got the Two of Swords card, which was 2 days. And because it was a Thursday, I couldn't fathom why he would be here on a Thursday, so I totally disregarded it. Oh well.
And then what happened on Thursday?
Oh,
what happened on Thursday?
He showed up. Yeah, he showed up. And I was like so frustrated because I was having a bad hair day. I didn't even look, putting my makeup on, and it was, of course, you think about that all afterwards. It's like, why didn't I listen to my intuition? Those guys tried to warn me and everything, but it's okay. I mean, it was a great day. We had a really great time, and that's just silly stuff to worry about anyway. We had an awesome connection. It was really cool. So
now I want to mention
nothing has ever.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, there's just divine timing in it all, So just trust the process and know that. I mean, the thing that you can do to really guarantee your success is to stay positive and stay in the highest vibration you can, and try to ixnay any negative thoughts that come through. Become a master of your emotions, because that's going to, and the more that you're aligned with God, aligned with Source, letting that energy pour through you in the moment, and let go of worries of the past or the future, the more the best possible outcome can come to you, whatever that is. So you may have a timeline where you and your twin, you get along pretty great, but maybe you guys have disagreements about money all the time or something like that. And because you're worried about money, and you kind of bring that into the equation and cause an issue. Whereas in another timeline, you guys have never really cared about that. It never really came up and never really was an issue. You both knew how to manage your money, and it went really well. So your issue there might be something totally different. It might be family members trying to interrupt or intrude in your relationship and give unwanted opinions. So, I mean, same twin, different reality, different issues to deal with depending on like what you brought into that relationship because of what you were kind of still holding on to in terms of insecurities. And that's why it also takes a while for you to get together with them, because you guys have to mature to a certain level that would be optimally beneficial for both of you, if that makes sense.
Of course. Now, I want to call your attention to the second, because I'm all about validation. And it's important that when you get a message from the other side, that you get a corresponding validation to it. And that happened for us because one of your council sessions, you were talking with a representative who called himself Thor. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Apparently you do.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous as to how far you're going to go with this, but go ahead, go for it.
Well, no, I just wanted to, the validation that I wanted to get.
He said a lot.
He said a lot, but one of the things that he said was he would die for you. And we were having a conversation, and I got in my head the song by Bryan Adams called "Everything I Do for You." And when I said, Amy, I just got this song in my head. And if you want to reference the song, it's on Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It was, at the time, it was a great big song. In one of the lines in there, he said, "I would die for you." And you got chills.
About fell out of my chair.
Yeah, why did you almost fall out of your chair?
This is so goofy. You guys are going to totally laugh at me. But
I don't think so.
Oh, Kevin. Okay, so when I was, it was just cool. I mean, I tell Kevin everything because I want him to see just how magical all of this is and how amazing it is and how it does all tie together. So I had told him about my last council meeting. Now, this isn't the one that I was telling you guys about a minute ago. This was more recent. And it was the whole message. It seemed like every spirit that was there was talking about passion. That seemed to be the theme of it. And so I told him specifically something that Thor told me about how my masculine feels about me. And that's one of the things he said is he would do anything for you. Like, he seriously would do anything. He would, trust me. And I'm like, whoa. Or he said that even if it's, God, I don't know how to describe this. But anyway, so I told him what Thor told me, and he used specific examples of back in his time, how they would feel about a woman and how they would treat her and how they would think of her and all of that stuff. And he was pretty much aligning with my masculine's energy, and he was saying, look, he's like me. He's like me in this lifetime where I was feeling this for this girl, and he just told me all about the whole story between them, and I was kind of blown away. This is amazing. This is so cool. So I was telling Kevin about that, and then he started saying that there'd been a song stuck in his head, and I was like, of course, I was extremely interested. What is this song? And then he says that, and then I went, whoa, because I grew up between Seattle and California. I didn't like Seattle because it was cold. And I really loved Southern California a lot, and I would just yearn for going to see my mom every summer, and I loved California so much that that when that song would play, I would actually feel a connection to California. And I felt like I don't remember if it was me singing the song to California or the song singing it to me, but it felt like there was almost this love affair between me and California. I loved it so much that I would get chills and I would cry listening to that song. And I know that is so corny, to have that with a place, but for some reason I just really loved California. And not that I would ever want to go back there, but at this point in my life. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Well,
California,
but you see,
not now.
But what I was getting at, Amy, was that what Thor told you was validated by the message that I received, that I then translated to you, and it turned out that, and Travis will attest to this. Travis, if you haven't fallen asleep over there, you'll attest to this. That I used to watch that movie, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, just so that I could turn up the song at the end. Do you remember that, Trav?
Wow.
Oh, apparently he did fall asleep. Okay, well, in any event, but the main focus was that song, because I relate to the other side through song, which is why And Nothing Else Matters became a big deal. By the way, Amy, just so you know, I heard that song 3 miraculous ways. Travis heard it 3 miraculous ways. I have not heard that song played again. And the reason is because I received the message, I got what they were trying to tell me, which is forever trust in who we really are and nothing else matters. And that was the message that they wanted me to relay to the audience. And so it's not necessary for me to hear that song ever again. And because it was,
exactly.
it was a message that they sent, I received it, and I act on it. And that's exactly what you're saying when you're talking about twin flames.
Well, yeah, and then you get curious about tarot. I bought Kevin his first tarot deck while he was here on his visit, and he finally decides to open it up. He's like, "Okay, tell me how to do this. You know, how do I open up the deck, and do I shuffle them, or do I say a prayer?" So I was talking him through all these steps, and this was maybe a day or two later after this other thing with Thor, and then what happened, Kevin? He wanted to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
He just wanted to see. He's like, "Gosh, all this hoopla about love and stuff, and she's all about love and all this. I just want to see, like, is she going to have this long-term happiness she's looking for? Is she really going to, have this kind of love?" And so he wanted to kind of get to the bottom of it, I think. So right out the gate, that's the first thing that he decides he's going to do a spread on. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, now you have to understand where I'm coming from. Cards and me don't get along. I am maybe the worst poker player in the world, and I get the worst cards. And so when I kind of attributed tarot to that as being that, I'm not going to get it. There are no messages here. I'm not going to get anything out of this. But I was playing along just to test it, and so the question that I asked was, is Amy, what's going to happen with Amy's love life? Is she going to be happy forever? And the first card that I turned over was, Amy, drum roll please, and go ahead and tell us what that card was.
The Lovers, of course.
Of course it was the Lovers. And see, I didn't even know what I was turning over, and then but that was the card, and I shuffled them real good. It wasn't like I was prepared to do that. It's just what happened. So the tarot it seems to be an accurate representation of what you're looking for. So you can use those as a tool. They're not perfect necessarily, but you can use them as a tool to understand what you're about. Amy, by the way, we have a caller on the line. Would you like to take this call? And she has a question about a guy and a twin flame. Do you want to take this call? Okay.
Yeah.
And welcome to the show, caller. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
And you had a question for me.
Oh, yeah. So I don't... Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi there. So I don't think this is a twin flame, but I feel like it's a preparation for that. And this man has been like a friend, but all of a sudden there was like romantic exploration. So I just wanted to some feedback of that. Like it feels very spiritual, and then I also but it feels a little like soulmate too. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Okay. I don't want to say
I get the word
just for privacy.
Okay. Well, I get the first thing I get is the word easy. So I think they're pointing me toward soulmate. Mm-hmm. And okay. So, and just to warn you guys too, I just had this happen. One of my feminines she wanted so bad for her twin to show up for her, and they had made plans to meet. He had a girlfriend, and he said he was going to leave her, and he knew he wanted to be with his twin and everything. He'd already made up his mind. She was waiting for them to break up, and she's like, "Look, I'm going on vacation. Before I go on vacation, let's meet." And he said he would, and then he flaked on her, and she went on vacation. She met a soulmate, and that man is so about her and so in love with her and is giving her everything that she wanted from her twin, and she is now moving to go be with him, and he's got this really super nice ring he's about to give her, and they're about to get engaged. And it's only been like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. So that's crazy.
A lot. Yeah, this is really happening for people. So
what do you think about...
but I say it as a warning because, I don't know, I just really feel like, we've come this far, and this whole journey is about loving yourself and being patient. And, I tell her, like, what if, that's wonderful, but what if down the road his twin flame shows up? And of course you're always going to have yours on your mind. And she admits, like, I do kind of tap into him sometimes, or I do kind of look at cards to see how he's doing. And so it's a tough situation to get yourself in. If you're not with your partner, then it's just not going to feel right. So, but let me check into this guy for you.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
We kissed for the first time. We've known each other for 2 years, and it was great. And then I think it freaked him out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, so what do you think? Yeah, check into that.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, I think he's a soulmate. I think what you're going to find is that things are real easy with him, real comfortable. I want to look a little deeper into him for a minute.
Okay. You don't need his name, do you?
No. Nope. He's like, man, I hate to say this.
It's okay.
Okay, so here's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is I'm seeing him standing with his back to you. And it's almost like he's stuck you up on a shelf, and it's like you're part of what makes his puzzle feel complete. So he's like it's like, okay, now I got her, and I'm going to stick her on the shelf right here to look good for everybody.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Yeah, that's kind of weird, though, because that has a karmic feel. You know what I mean? That's what karmics do. That's not what soulmates do. So I just wonder why he has his back to you. Let me just see what's going on here. I'm going to try and get him to turn around and face you.
Right.
Well, for one, he's really embarrassed. He's afraid. He's a little intimidated by you. You've got real strong energy.
What is that?
So you can cut through the BS. You're very emotionally intelligent, and I don't think he feels like he's as able to kind of be on your wavelength, kind of be on your level.
Oh.
But I just keep trying. I mean, I'm trying all these little things that I do to test and see if they're a twin, and I'm just not seeing any of that happen. It's like he's willing to work with you, and he's totally willing. But a part of him is it's got a superficial feel to it, a little bit of a superficial feel.
Yeah.
So I guess you'll have to. Yeah, go ahead.
What happened in that kiss? Because I think something happened, and then I think there was like fear or something. Or was it just superficial for him?
It brought up some. It's almost like it brought you guys past a line that he was comfortable in. It pushed him past his comfort zone. He wasn't anticipating that happening. So it was like
he asked for the kiss, though.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
No, he didn't anticipate what he felt as a result of the kiss.
Oh, which was what? What did he feel?
It made him scared. It made him feel like he wasn't ready. Gosh, this is hard. Let's see.
You're scared of something, is it because you like it, but it's scary, or it's not just casual?
It is that. It is that. It has that feel, but he's so willing to work with you that I don't really see too much of a problem, but there is a superficiality to it. It's like he just wants it. He doesn't want it to go too deep, too fast.
And then he realized that he probably can't do that with me, and so that's why it's scary.
It's like it's like that intimidation factor again. It's kind of like he feels like he has secrets. He's got secrets. There's just certain things he's not totally ready to just come right out with, and he's afraid you're going to pull that kind of stuff out of him, and he's going to end up getting hurt. So he's just being a little bit guarded. I would just be really patient with him and just, continue to see how this whole thing plays out, because I know your situation. And,
it feels more like exploration, and
Yeah, but I don't know if you've listened to my episode 50, but it talks about, don't be with somebody unless they're your twin flame. So I would have gone out with that guy as you and maybe just seen what is it that I need to learn from him, or what is he supposed to learn from me. Yeah, there could be some lessons in it, but I wouldn't get involved physically, because you're gonna get attached and you're gonna get sucked in, and when you get sucked in, you're not going to be available to your twin. Not like we should just go on, it's like, but why not be platonic? Why create the cords? About all the cords and what happens when you have sex, and when you get really codependent and all that stuff.
That's a different thing. Yeah, I don't even know if he's available or interested in that way, but maybe.
Well, I would just try to keep it light for a little bit and just kind of see what starts to play out. I'm pretty certain I know who your twin is, and I know he's working through a lot. Yeah, I do. Okay. I do, and I'm rooting for him. I really am rooting for him.
Interesting. Okay.
But this is a situation a lot of the feminines are facing right now, and you just have to really just check don't settle. Don't just go along with. This is not about it. Yeah. Good. Yeah, because that's what the feminines are kind of faced with right now. Do I go with what's actually working and going forward, or
connecting with him was almost like more longing to that twin, actually, like a little bit of healing in a way.
Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny, because that's what I just described in the last episode that I just went through. Actually, I think it was episode 50. I said I went out with this guy, and the whole time I was thinking about my masculine, thinking of what a better time we would have had doing that. But yeah, so good. So it gives you more confirmation that you have your other person. For example,
Yeah, and so then what happened with this really engagement is just fear. It's scared of what it made him feel.
Yeah, but it needed. I don't want to tell too much about what he's going through on his side, because I don't want to. Just know that he's dealing with some stuff he needs to deal with. And what's good is you activated that in him. You were a catalyst for him facing some of the things he needed to take a look at. So it was good for you both.
Yeah, no, I know. I almost just want to talk to him about it, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
Sure. It never hurts to talk things out.
Okay, but maybe
if it blows up in your face, then it wasn't meant to be.
That's true.
But besides, you were there during the kiss. Shouldn't you be able?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you were there. You should be able to express your feelings and ask him what his feelings were, and be just above board and honest. At least that would be my opinion.
Oh, no, and we did. And we both expressed that we really liked it. It was really nice. But I think today, the day after, and it was just that. It was just a kiss. I think he retracted or something.
Yeah, he did, but it's got nothing to do with you.
No.
It has to do with him facing his demons.
Okay.
Well, and that can, and also, Amy, isn't it true that first kiss moment can be a really frightening thing, especially if you've got a bunch of stuff on your plate and suddenly this presents itself, and it can be very real. Isn't that something that some people will retract and run away from because they're scared of it?
It depends on what stage you're at. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense, what you just said, and I'm wondering what you think, Amy, because this is the other piece of it. Like, I see him as, like, someone that's younger than me, but way more experienced. Like, he's been out dating and having fun, and so it was more like, oh, to him it's just another kiss. Like, he kisses plenty of girls. And so I felt kind of intimidated by that. But yeah, so it made me wonder, like, if it was what you were saying. What's your name again? Kevin?
Oh, yeah. Kevin, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Kevin.
That's
yeah,
me.
Yeah, like you said.
So you both intimidated each other.
Ah, right. So I just wonder, I don't know if that was the case for him because he kisses so much. I was like, was it even that special for him as it was, like, it was good for me?
Well, that's the cool thing about like twins versus like other people you just kind of meet and go out with and that kind of thing is you get to know your twin over a period of time, and you make all kinds of adjustments, and you know, feel into them even telepathically. You've got this cool connection that continues, and it's like this big tease and a build up. It's like it would have to be awesome, even if the kiss totally sucked. It's like the feelings are there, and you know, it's like, how can it not be phenomenal?
It's like, so, you're a nice guy, like, but that kiss really sucked. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
That's the nightmare that every guy has on a first kiss, by the way.
I don't think it was the case here. I kept thinking, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I kept thinking, like, oh, he just does this all the time. It's, like, not a big deal for him. Like, this is just another kiss. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, but haven't you kissed someone and it was like nothing, and then you kissed someone else that you had feelings for and it was a totally different feel? You felt that before.
Yeah, and this felt really good, but I just was wondering if it was that for him. And he just said it was good, but I was like doubting him or something.
Shall I rate the kiss? Do I need to rate the kiss?
Yes, please rate the kiss. Yes, that's what I'm asking for. Thank you.
Okay, so oh gosh.
So was it the kiss? Was it the kiss of all kisses, or was it just another kiss?
That was a question to you.
It was to me. I was just going to ask. I was like, are you guys asking me? I'm asking you guys. Because to me, it was really good. But I just was like wondering if he felt the same way. Or if it's just like he has those experiences all the time. It's like he goes out with all these people.
For him, it feels like it was a ball rolling kind of thing. Like it got the ball rolling. Like it got you over just being friends, and it kind of crossed the line, and it got it going, so you guys could explore other avenues or other, you know, you guys could be more than friends. But honestly, I feel like it's more sexual than it is
spiritual.
It is actually wanting to have like a deep, you know, thing with you. So be careful.
Yeah, no, and I feel that too. Actually, like I don't think he's my partner, right? So, were you gonna?
If you know that, you know, it's so funny because if you know that already, that's what I'm talking about. Because we usually know within the first couple of times of meeting them or hanging out with them or whatever. We know quite a bit in that period of time. But what we do is we say, well, this is right here in my face, and it sure feels really good. And so I think I'll do that rather than feel rejected. And then we can talk ourselves into, you know, well, okay, so he's not this, but he's that, and he's not this, but he's that.
Got it.
We make up all these excuses to try to fit them into our lives when all it really is you wanting validation or wanting to feel valuable as a person and not be rejected, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it hurts to view, like with my other feminine, it was seeing that situation as he's picking somebody over me. He values them more than me, and therefore I am rejected, and it hurts over and over and over and over again. But if she didn't see it as rejection, if she didn't see it the way she was seeing it, it wouldn't be painful.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
She would just let it naturally unfold the way the universe is trying to have it happen.
It's interesting that you're still rooting for my twin.
Yeah, well, I really,
Like, how do you see him coming back?
That's a great question. I'm so glad you wanted to go there because I just love him. He's just, I mean, like looking at you guys together, you guys look so happy. I love, like, I've seen pictures of you guys, and you guys are just, I mean, you could just feel the love. It's just like, I want to climb into that picture and just like hug you guys. So, let me see. I feel like he's definitely like, I feel his eyes shifting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like he's trying to figure out what to do because this would be a really major move for him. He'd have to leave the country.
Yeah, but remember I blocked him.
I know.
And he blocked me because I think he got hurt.
Well, of course. But, you know, and that a lot of twins go through that. But, he's
got a way to contact me.
He feels a little restless to me. He feels like he knows that he kind of screwed up and he's like wanting to do something about it. And I'm just not sure he knows what to do yet.
Right. Yeah.
But he's ready to leave everything behind. I really do feel like he is closing a big time chapter in his life and wanting to start something new. And I'm pretty sure his connection with you cannot be compared to. So he may just take some kind of a job here and surprise the hell out of you.
Wow.
And you may not even know. You may just, get a phone call. I mean, that would just, I don't believe it myself, but I feel like those types of thoughts are definitely going through his mind right now.
Yeah.
So, Allie, I have a question for you. Going back to I'm still fixated on the other guy because it's just.
Would there was a kiss for crying out loud.
Of course. Would you consider him?
Right?
Yeah. Would you consider him kind of like quote unquote a player?
No.
Who, me? Oh yeah.
Oh, Amy? Yeah.
Well, no.
No. I wasn't saying yes to that. I'm sorry that there was like.
No, he doesn't seem bad.
But he's kissed lots of girls.
Like, I think it's just like that culture that he's in, where like they're very like open relationship kind of people, whatever that means, because I'm not. And and they just like very free spirited in that way, and they just I don't know how else to describe it because it's not my language. So he just hangs out with people like that.
Well, from my perspective, and you should feel good about this, the kiss was different than the other kisses from before, and that scared him, and so he pulled back.
Oh yeah,
because it was different, and it wasn't like he could just take it or leave it. It made an impression on him. And so he pulled back because it scared him because he doesn't necessarily want to get into that because he's got so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's true. I mean, he just graduated and he wants to start his business. Like, he's in a very different stage of his life than me. And he's got a lot going on. And he seems really tired and just, like, really focused on getting business. And I think he's breaking an old relationship and still in the middle of that, but they're like an open, so it's just a different thing. Yeah. But thanks for that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, glad that
it's a lot for him to take on.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know, it's scary for some folks when you have a moment that's a life-changing experience, and we're going to talk about that in the next hour. But if you have a changing experience, or life-changing experience like that, it can scare you to death, and you want to not change, and so you quit before it happens.
Yeah, I see that.
Am I Amy? Am I close?
No, that's all part of it. It's all part of. There's a lot to it. But yeah.
Yeah. You're like, there's a lot to it.
Yeah. And that seems to be calling for a private consultation off the air, so we should probably honor that.
Probably.
And you guys get together. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. You too. That was wonderful.
And you're welcome to continue listening, but I'm going to just go ahead and mute you, okay?
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later.
So, Amy, what did you think of that?
Well, you know, it's happening right now. That kind of thing is happening.
Yes, it is.
So
now,
you just really do have to follow your heart and listen to your intuition and navigate it as best you can.
Now, I would like to take a couple of moments. I would like to take a couple moments if we can, because we have a longtime listener who has been involved with us a lot, and apparently it took a lot of courage for her to even message you. And so what I'd like to do is to read her message, if it's all right with you, Amy, so that you can address some of the things that she says. Would that be all right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and this is for our special friend Janice. Neither of us have met her, but apparently this podcast has had a profound impact on her life, and I wanted to honor that by taking a little bit of time to go over her message so that you can address those things. So this is what Janice had to say. I'm just a newbie to all the information about twin flames, so I'd appreciate your honest opinion about whether I even have a twin, or if my twin is gone now in this lifetime. Maybe I should focus on my spiritual growth to help evolve the planet in my own small way. I'm not sure I'm evolved enough spiritually to have a twin flame contract. The relationship I'm in now might possibly be a twin, or maybe it's a false twin, but I'm not certain. He doesn't care about spirituality growing in this lifetime, not that I can observe anyway. I don't feel intuitive enough to connect with my twin's larger self to find out. I would appreciate if you could feel into my situation sometime, and I'll understand if you don't sense a twin flame reunion for me. I'm so grateful for all of your podcasts and your YouTube videos, and I'm learning as much about all these kind of things in the metaphysical world. Thank you, Amy and Kevin. I totally love you guys. I'd be too nervous to call in at this point, but I hope to one day. It took me days to work up the courage to even post this. So can you feel into Janice's situation?
Yeah, and Janice, thank you so much for reaching out to us. That was awesome. It's meant a lot for us to have you there from the beginning. I think you had shared that you'd been with us since day one, and I think that's just so incredible. It'd be really cool to have you on the show sometime and just ask you, from your perspective, what you've thought of this all along. So, getting to your question, just the fact that you would ask about whether you're ready or not to have a twin flame contract kind of shows that you probably are one, because twin flames want to develop and they want to strive to be better people all the time. They can't help it. It's part of their nature. So that in itself is just really is noble of you, I guess you could say, and you, to some degree, each twin flame feels unworthy of the journey. So that's not surprising either, and that's another characteristic. So that's kind of funny just right off the bat. All right, so let's see if you have, is she a twin flame? Yes. Is her twin still alive? Yes. Does she know the twin? Yes. Okay, So I'm going to tune into this guy that you're with to see if he might be something. Now, you said something about you guys don't have the same beliefs, or like he's not very spiritual, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because it's all about self-love and unconditional love for each other. So it doesn't really matter where they're at. I mean, a lot of twins they have an age difference. They come from different cultures. They come from, they were raised very differently, and that's all by design. It's like the yin and yang symbol. So you guys should, in many ways, be very, very different, and in other ways be very, very similar if he is a twin. Also, I can tune into it as much as I can from my angle and tell you if I get confirmation on my side. But the best verification that you're going to get is your own personal experience and confirmation and validation that you get as you go along. And you, the more you come into harmony between your feminine and masculine sides, the more you're going to grow and be capable of like holding that vibration of a relationship so incredible. So just keep developing, like, no matter what, and I will tune into him in just a second, but no matter what, keep the focus of staying spiritual, keep the focus of raising your vibration and being positive and making this the best experience on earth that you can. Really get into that living your passion and following your bliss feel. As you do that, you're going to attract the perfect thing for you. And being that I do feel you do have a twin flame, you're either with him now, or you're going to be attracting him. And if you guys aren't ready for each other now, don't worry, because like say you're with each other now and you have all these issues come up and then you end up breaking up. Sometimes that happens when you come together prematurely. And that would be okay. You guys could just have to go apart for a little while, mature, and then come back together when you guys are more in harmony and you're not blaming each other. The key is to be able to take personal responsibility and have mature conversation between the two of you going back and forth to be able to maintain it. It's when it gets real wonky and you guys start pointing fingers and stuff that you guys have to at least emotionally be apart for a bit before you can come back together. But anyway, let me tap in here and see what I can get on him. Hang on. Yeah, it feels like he's kind of rigid. He's I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible he could be. But you're going to have to look for signs and synchronicities, because it's like, if he is your twin, he's not ready right now, because I just feel him being pretty. I feel like he's got his guard up and he's pretty prickly. So, yeah, you guys would have a ways to go until you guys are more in harmony. But keep working on that relationship, and above all else, love yourself. And get really happy with yourself, because when you do that, whoever your twin is, you're going to sync with him more and help him with his own energy. So, let me see what else I can get on him. I mean, it is pretty comfortable. Certain aspects of it feel pretty comfortable, but it also feels pretty darn awkward. This sort of reminds me in a different way of a couple of, I don't know. I don't know if it's similar enough for me to even compare, but I guess it's supposed to be brought up. Because, yeah. I have a gay couple that I work with, and these are two men, and one of them is incredibly needy and incredibly like possessive and jealous, and it's really, really bad. And the other twin is like, I love him so much and I really want to be with him, but he's driving me crazy. He won't let me have any alone time and that kind of a thing. So I don't think it's time for them. They could be twins, but the one that's being really desperate and needy, that one is not ready right now. So I think a separation is probably inevitable for them if they can't figure out a way to communicate that and to establish boundaries and have boundaries. So it feels like you're kind of dealing with some of that, and not the jealousy, but it definitely feels like there's just just an imbalance between you guys where you need to definitely communicate real clearly and definitely have boundaries with each other and see if you can communicate your way through this. Otherwise, there may just, I would just be looking for the signs and not worry if there comes a separation, because it might be needed. But just keep following, follow the signs, follow the ones, the twos, threes. If you guys want to see what the different numbers represent, you can go to my website at amysatori.com, and there's a blog post called Support for the Divine Feminine. Actually, the Support for Divine Masculine also has the numbers, but you can check out what those different numbers mean and just try to see if the universe makes it blaringly obvious to you that that's the person you're meant to be with.
And thank you for that, Amy. And by the way, Janice did give us one more response that I would like to close this podcast with, so that we can start the next hour for the next podcast. And that is, Janice said this to you. And thank you, Amy, for the fear isn't real reminder at the end of each podcast. I say it often so my brain and my heart will understand the message. Since most of my life has been lived under powerful, paralyzing fear, I know it won't disappear overnight, but I look forward to dissolving it one step at a time. Janice, thank you for your honesty, and thank you for saying that. Mm-hmm. And remember, what does Amy always say, Amy?
The fear isn't real.
And I hope you have enjoyed this podcast, and you can go to amysatori.com, book a reading with this lovely lady. She can do for you what she's been doing on the show today, and she can really give you some insight into your relationship. She can give you insights into friends, family, your health, pets, anything that you want to talk to her about. She is that gifted, and she is that real. And I want you always, always to remember, forever trust in who we really are, and nothing else matters. And we'll see you next time on The Satori Show. You've been listening to The Satori Show. Please visit Amy's website, www.amysatori.com, to find out more about this incredible talent. The views expressed during this podcast are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of management or the owners of this podcast. What you need to know is that Amy is a wonderful teacher, guide, and communicator for the unseen world. What she does not pretend to be is a doctor, fortune teller, seer of world events, or predictor of what is to come. What Amy presents is real, based on her understanding of the world and communication with that unseen world. As always, you're free to decide for yourself as to what to believe. Regardless, we love and accept you completely just as you are. And thanks again for listening to The Satori Show.